For some people, trying to break down the huge walls of their partner, who may seem far too cold at times, can be really hard. For those people, they may struggle to open up, express their emotions, and show who they really are. Mark. So how exactly does one stop being so frosty and start opening up more? Joining us now to explain is TV sexologist Dr. Nikki Goldstein. Hi, Dr. Nikki.
Morning.
When we say cold, just so we're clear, it's nothing sexual. It's just emotionally you're shut down.
It could lead into something sexual, which may be nothing happening, but I think this stems from our emotions and mostly how we're taught how to express ourselves. Not everybody in a relationship is always going to be so open and warm and even let that wall down to let their partner in. And that is the one thing that can really stop intimacy and a real connection from occurring.
How do you get into a relationship if you've got a wall up? Like, is this something that, does the wall come down and then the wall goes back up, or is the wall always up and, you only realise that a year into the relationship?
Well, I think it does come up and down, and it depends on how far it goes down. I mean, we can all get into that automatic world of a relationship, and it feels nice to go on dates and do lovely activities together. But when we're talking about our emotions, that's when we're required to be vulnerable. So we're needing to really let that wall down in order to let someone in. But the problem with vulnerability is a lot of people find it very scary. It's when you're at a point where you might be open to hurt, or you might be having to talk about things that do scare you or past experiences. And I do think for a lot of people, they can have a relationship without always having that vulnerability. But at a certain point, if you don't have that openness and vulnerability, you can go into automatic mode of relationship. So you're doing things day in, day out, you're being pleasant to each other, maybe nice, but you don't have that real connection because you're not being raw, open and vulnerable with how you're really feeling inside.
Right, so how do you know? What if you're both cold and you've been drifting through life in an icebox? How do you even know that you're in that state?
Well, I think when there feels like there's this lack of connection, when you are living on the surface level and you really don't feel like partners and intimate partners, when I say that, it's more so friendship and flatmates. And that's why I think that we've got to really look underneath and think, well, if we're not able to be open with our emotions, if we're not able to be vulnerable with each other, then that connection is not going to be there. And often it does take one person to either recognize that something's not right here either for both of us and we need to work at this, or they might be able to look at their partner and think, I know them, I don't know them.
Nikki, thank you for that. A lot of people probably watching this feeling a bit awkward on the couch now. That is 5 away from 9, and TV sexologist Dr. Nikki Goldstein. What a great title. After the break, we wrap up this morning's show. Stay tuned.